What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 60, and we start today's episode off with Martinez Felipe Depe going on loan to Deportivo Alaves for this season. And as I've mentioned a few times now, you've seen it a few times now, a lot of our academy players are leaving the club on a season-long loan to get some first-team experience because they're not going to get much game time there. There are some players, yes, admittedly, that will play quite a few games here and there. Rubinho, Paco Candea, obviously Aguza being the headline one that will probably start quite a few games this season. But a lot of them just aren't cut out for the first team, at least not right now. So there's no point keeping them here if they're not going to get much game time, much exposure. So, I'm someone who does struggle to loan out players. If you're a long-term sub of mine, you'll know it's one of the most frustrating things about me. I always have loads of players on the loan list and barely anyone ever leaves. But, right now, quite a few have left on loan, and that's another one going. So that's good. A few more players to leave on loan, get some exposure, and hopefully they'll come back next season better players. Still, we take on Atletico Madrid for the first game of today's episode here, travelling to the Vicente Calderon, and of course we beat Atletico Madrid in a Copa del Rey final last season to pick up our first major domestic trophy of Racing Santander. We were absolutely delighted about this, so they must have been wanting revenge here for our first meeting between these two sides for this season. But the first chance did fall to us, and Perez's header went onto the top of the bar and behind for a goal kick. And I mentioned in the last episode, I'm really liking the look of this striker, and honestly he looks like a real handful for opposition defenders. He almost got an assist there as Ander Kappa came forward, but his shot went just wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. And he does look like the type of striker I'm really going to enjoy playing with. So still 0-0, but a couple of early chances for us, and unfortunately for us, we just couldn't find the back of the net. In the 17th minute, there was a great chance for Atletico Madrid. Paul Pogba on the ball for them, and the Frenchman shoots the ball just wide of the post and behind. So good opportunity there for the former Juventus and Manchester United midfielder, but it does go just wide and behind. So still goalless, but in the 20th minute, another good chance for us here. Rodriguez finding Perez, and again Perez has Jimenez on the back foot. Wonderful dribbling, but for some reason there he goes with his left foot instead of his right foot, and that should have been 1-0. Admittedly, yes, I do like the look of the guy, but I'll be honest there, he should have scored that. I didn't really feel like that was my fault, because I opened up his body for the R1 and circled with the right foot into the far corner. Instead he went with his weaker left foot and put it straight at the goalkeeper. I don't know why, but regardless, following that, Albin Tosa's header got cleared off the line from a corner, and then Pedro Obiang's strike went over the bar. But a lot of early chances for Racing Santander, and we were looking like the better side. But in the 35th minute though, Griezmann finds Mandzukic here, and as the striker holds the ball up down the right hand side, he backheels it to Griezmann, who crosses the ball in, and Jimenez does make it 1-0 to Atletico Madrid, and they do take the lead. So very, very disappointed there, because it was a simple goal, just a routine cross into the box, and as Albin Tosa lost Jimenez in the centre, he heads it past the goalkeeper, in off the underside of the bar and into the back of the net. So Atletico Madrid 1, Racing Santander 0, and after the start we'd made, I didn't really see that coming. To a bit of a sucker punch for us, but thankfully Jimenez wouldn't double his goal tally a few minutes later, because I brought out Ruben Blanco there. He chipped our goalkeeper and it hit the top of the bar. So still 1-0, and a great chance for the home side to double the lead goes begging. In the 45th minute, Albin Tosa went close again. This time his header well saved by the goalkeeper, but it was still 1-0. And in the 69th minute, it was still 1-0 to Atletico Madrid. I just didn't really seem to be able to do anything in the second half. However, sometimes you need a bit of luck, and we certainly got it here. A huge mistake by Toby Alderweireld, and Mamadou Tunkara ends up capitalising on the missed kick, if you will, by Alderweireld, the Belgian defender there. As Sekera passed it back to him, you can see there he lunges, misses the ball, and Tunkara, who literally came off the bench seconds before this pass through by Bellerin, ends up grabbing the equalising goal and making it 1-1. So Atletico Madrid 1, Racing Santander 1. We are back on a level terms, and it is Tunkara grabbing the goal off the bench. And in the 75th minute here, he could have made it 2-1 down the left hand side, coming inside with the shot, well saved by the goalkeeper and turned away by Atletico. So still 1-1 in this game. But in the 90th minute here, Atletico Madrid were pushing for a winner. Suarez plays it through towards Koke. Great chance here as he chips it inside towards Kirchi, and his shot cannons off the post, and we get the ball away with Oliver Torres. So still 1-1, and it was how the game would finish as well, a 1-1 draw. And I have to say, sometimes we have these 1-1 draws or 0-0 or 2-2 or any kind of draw, and I sit there and I usually say we should have won the game had my finishing been better. But in that game, I really do believe the draw was honestly the fair result. I mean, they did hit the bar twice, admittedly, but we also went very close, hit the bar early on with Perez too, and a lot of shots that one was headed off the line from Albin Tosa's header. The goalkeeper made a couple of good saves as well. So I think a draw was a fair result in that one, and we'll be very pleased because, you know, away against Atletico Madrid in the league is going to be one of the most hardest games you'll have all season here in Spain. So yeah, we'll take the draw. We'll take the positives, and we'll take the draw. Still, we take on Valencia for the second game of today's episode here. Now, Valencia finished in 4th place last year. Or was it 3rd place? 3rd or 4th anyway. Regardless, they did finish in the top 4. So as Valencia come and take us on here at El Sardinero, I was feeling quite pessimistic after drawing our first 2 games, and you can understand why. Just 5 minutes in, they almost took the lead. Thankfully for us though, Ruben Blanco made a very good save and kept it goalless, and from the following corner, it was played into the box here. It missed everyone, but eventually Valencia got themselves back in the, well, back towards the area anyway, as Guardado comes inside and the shot goes just wide the post. So still goalless, but a couple of great chances for Valencia early on, and just a few minutes later another great opportunity as De Paul does find Guardado here, who goes for a goal again and again, puts the ball just wide. So still 0-0 in this game, but they were looking very threatening early on. However, in the 18th minute here, Hector Bellerin finds Pedro Obiang, and our midfielder takes it around his man and fake shots around Guardado, plays a brilliant through ball in towards Rodriguez here, and his shot finds the back of the net for his first goal for the club. Instead, Perez starts to celebrate, and I'm wondering why, and I realise that the flag goes up for offside, and it's because Perez got in the way of the Rodriguez shot, deflected it past the goalkeeper Rene Adler and into the back of the net, and as you can see, it is offside, so it's the correct decision. But was it going in anyway? Has Iosa Perez stopped Rodriguez getting his first goal for the club? I'm not too sure. I actually thought the ball was going in regardless, but maybe the goalkeeper would have saved it, I don't know. But still, the goal was chalked off, and rightfully so. So still 0-0. In the 35th minute though, Ruben Blanco had to make another good save for us, still searching for his first clean sheet of the league season so far, as that strike was well saved by our goalkeeper. And from the corner, Healer finds Vezzo towards Guardado on the edge of the area. He doesn't really control it very well, and because of that we make an interception on Gaia. Bigas picks the ball up for us here and sprints down the centre, plays a brilliant free ball towards Iosa Perez, takes on his man, beats him and gets taken down, and the referee gives a penalty. So he may have stopped Rodriguez from scoring a goal, but he makes up for it here by winning us a penalty, and Otamendi can't really have too many complaints because he did seem to sort of lunge into him with pace from behind, and the referee, you can see there's clips of the heels right there, and the referee gives a penalty. So again, maybe Perez made the most of it, no doubt about that, but there is contact there, and I always say this: if there's contact and there's not any contact on the ball, you can see it's just a clear clip of the heels or something, usually it probably is going to be given a penalty by the referee. Whether it is one or not is debatable, but it's usually going to get given in FIFA. Regardless, Aguza stands up to take it, and he does score. So Ranieri Aguza's already scored 1 penalty this season against Barcelona in the Super Cup, and he scores 1 here as well. He hasn't missed a penalty for us so far. It's 6 out of 6, I do believe now, so very good record so far. I'll have to probably go back and watch all the episodes so I can know for sure how many penalties he scored. Regardless though, really good finish by Ranieri Aguza, and the 17-year-old makes it Racing Santander 1, Valencia 0. So we take the lead in this game despite Valencia having the better start. But in the 55th minute here, 10 minutes after the restart, Perez almost makes it 2-0. His half volley goes just over the bar and behind, and in the 69th minute here we come through again with Rodriguez playing the ball through towards Perez, who chests it around his man, but unfortunately for us, as he goes into a challenge here, he ends up getting a serious injury, and as you'll see, he does end up getting subbed off late on in this game, and he will be out for 3 weeks. So that's a real shame. Perez has literally just signed for us, looked very bright in every single game. He's already got a couple of goals to his name, and he's now going to be out for 3 weeks already. Just ridiculous. But regardless, as you can see, Valencia going close there, it was still 1-0. To be honest, they did have quite a few chances in the second half, but most of the attempts were off target and from range and not too threatening. And 10 minutes before the end, Iosa Perez almost got an assist here as he played the ball inside towards Oliver Torres, but his shot was well saved by Rene Adler, and the German made a very good save. So still 1-0 in this game, but it was relatively comfortable in all honesty. You know, Valencia did have a lot of chances in the first half, looked very, very bright. In the second half, quite a few as well, but we were the better team in my opinion. And, you know, in the Atletico Madrid game, we were, you know, quite even with Atletico, but in this game, we certainly deserved the win. As Otamendi goes forward here, he should have scored, but ends up hitting the post. What a bad mistake by the defender, and it is still 1-0, and eventually we get the ball away, and you'll see the game does end up finishing as a 1-0 victory for us, because the final chance will fall as that header goes wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. The final chance would fall here in the 90th minute, Is we failed to get the cross away here, and it comes down to the left hand side. Eventually Piatti gets challenged. We got on the counter with Bellerin finding Perez here, and this was the moment where I knew I had to take him off, because he does end up beating the defender, but he just doesn't get away from him at all, and in the end the shot is quite timid and the goalkeeper makes a good save regardless, but still a poor finish from me, and it is still 1-0. So final score, Racing Santander 1, Valencia 0. We do get our first league win of the season in the third attempt. Delighted with that. 2 big games early on, but 4 points accumulated from a possible 6. You've got to be pleased with that, especially because one of these sides did finish in the top 4 last season, and that is where we want to be come the end of the league season. So as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Club and Country, then please do leave a like, as it is much appreciated and it really does help my channel out, and I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.